Hello student, this is the part 5 and this is the last video lecture from the topic graph. Up till here we try to understand basic terminology, then after we try to understand how it can be represented in a system. So we see the adjacency matrix and adjacency list. Then after we try to understand how the minimum spanning tree work. So in this video lecture we try to understand what is shortest path. I welcome you all here. My name is Drashti Mori and professor at the New Alger Institute of Engineering and Technology. Let's start with the content, that is shortest path. Now, and whenever I say shortest path means if I have multiple paths, then which path have the total weight minimum, that path is considered as a smallest or we can say shortest. So for calculation of the calculation of the shortest path in a complex algorithm, in a complex graph, we require an algorithm that is Warshall and Dijkstra. So this is two algorithms from where we can find the shortest path. Fine. Now, as I said, shortest path means you require to take the sum as a minimum. So it is same as minimum spanning tree or not? Yes. But here, for a shortest path, you require to find the thing for the start and end node. If someone says you have to find the shortest path between 1 and 3, then you only have to consider the shortest path in between this node. Okay, so this is somewhat different than minimum spanning tree. But if you are confident in finding any minimum spanning tree, then shortest path problem is very easy to perform. Now, as I said, we acquire the some algorithm for the calculation of shortest path. So Dijkstra is a one algo where you have to find the shortest path between some single source. Okay, but in a Flood and Washer algorithm, you can able to find all pair shortest path. What is all pair? What is single source? That would be get more clarity with one example. Whenever we see one example, fine. Now, if you understand the fundamental how the shortest path is useful, let me take example for the Dijkstra algorithm. Dijkstra algorithm says, first of all, you are able to perform the algorithm if your graph don't have any negative edge, because there can be a case that whenever you have some negative edge in your graph, then you have probably not get the right shortest path. So this is the, we can say, limitation for the Dijkstra algorithm, and it can also work with directed as well as undirected graph. Fine, let's start. This is the you can say code with what you can find the Dijkstra. Code might look complex, but it is very easy. Let me take the logic which is important when we are finding the Dijkstra. This box I draw, this box is important because here only logic is lie. The rest of are the simple initialization process. So let me zoom it out. So this is the same. This box is same as in this. We are trying to understand how the distance from the zero can be calculated. First of all, let me write all the terminology which is useful. First, we try to make what is graph. Graph is a matrix, okay, and the size of this graph matrix is, in our case, how many vertices are here? 4. So 4 cross 4 is here. For more understanding, I'm giving the index position also. And now you are able to understand how to fill this block. Yes or no? Easy or not? Now 1, 2, 0, 10. 1, 2, 2, 6. 1, 2, 3, 0. And what is here? 5. Okay. Let me have different pen. Okay. So here we try to find distance to all the node. So source index have distance 0, but rest of all are infinity. Why this is? Because we had already seen that it is initialization process. Okay. Now let me have color blue. So in our case, visited false, 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 and false. Okay. And anything else needed? No. Let's start here. As I said, distance is 0. Distance to itself is 0, and visited flag is right now false. So check that here, what is the minimum distance? Minimum distance means you have to check all the edges which is not been visited and have the minimum weight. So in our case, what is the minimum edge weight? 3. So here your index value is here, 3 is here. So they will return the value u. And what is v? So v is the loop where you have to check that it is have the smallest distance or not. So if you don't want to go with the code, just focus here. Here from the graph, you will try to understand what is minimum edge, and you find that 0 is the source node, and from the source node, minimum distance is 3. So u and v is declared. Now check that distance of u plus the edge. Edge means uv. Is this greater or lesser than distance of v? Now distance of u is 0 and graph of uv is 3, and distance of v is distance of v means distance of v 2. Distance of 2 is here infinity. So infinity is of course greater than this number. So this number need to be updated. So this now distance of v not mean infinity. Now it is a 3. Let me write 3 here. Okay, and now this is visited already. Let me erase all the unnecessary thing. So distance from 0 to 0 is 0 and 0 to 2 is 3, and 1 and 3 we didn't calculate it, so it is infinity. Right now it is infinity. Okay, now check again. Check the minimum distance. How many node is there which have the minimum distance and it is not still visited? So you just have to check 10, 6 and 5, which is minimum 5. So now you have to check with the node 5. Now u is here and v is here. Okay, u is 2 and v is 3. Now check this thing again. Distance of u means what? In our case it is 3, and graph of uv is edge weight, that is 5, and distance of node 3 is infinity. Okay, so now 5 plus 3 is 8. So 8 need to be updated at this place. Now it is not infinite, it is 8. Good. Now do the same thing from here, for here also. You can check that 0 to 2 have distance 2, and here 0 to 1 is 10. So what is minimum here? 6 plus 3, that is 9. Okay, so this way you can calculate the distance with the all the node. If you want to understand what we are doing right now is we are trying to find the distance from the single source. As I said, what you will get more idea here, that single source means here in our case we take the 0. You check here. What is the second argument is your source. Okay, so in this program we had tried to understand the distance which is shortest to reach the node 1. So after doing all the operation you will find the right value here. So here 0 to 1, what is minimum distance? That is 9. Okay, so the distance from to reach the node 3, node 2 is 3, and to reach the node 3 is 8. So finally you conclude that this is 9, 3 and 8. Same way you can check the distance from 1. If you want to do the checking of this, you are able to do this. But for that you have to do the iteration for the source node as a 1. So in Digitstar, you have the limitation that you may or may not get the right answer if age weight is minus. Or also, if you want to check for the different source, you have to perform the operation again, right? Now, let me take one more example where you get more idea. Here, Digitstar algorithm says this is the given graph, and here you have to find the distance from any node. Let me take A as a source node, and here distance from all are infinity because we do not traverse till now. So this all are infinity. Now check which is minimum here. For the node source, u is A and v is here because this is the minimum age. That's why if you want to maintain the distance, if you want to check the 6, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. So here you have to check that 0 plus 1 means 1, and it is smaller than infinity. Yes. So this not been infinity. Now it would be updated with 1. Fine. Same way here. 0 plus 3 is smaller than infinity. So update here 3. Fine. We are removing the infinity and placing the value 1. So if you want to modify this in here, you will updating 1 and here 3. Fine. Now check. Then is there any other way you can reach? Yes. Check 0 to 1, 0 to B is 1 and B to C is 1. So total is 2. But here it is saying 3. So it is minimum distance. So also you have to modify this with the value 2. Value, update the value 2. Fine. Same way, move again. Move ahead. B to D is 1 plus 2 means 3. It is smaller than infinity. So you can update. Now here 2 plus 5 is 7. So right here 7. But you can check that we have the value 1 and this age value is 4. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So we have more value that is minimum than 7. So we can update the value 5. Likewise, you can modify for all. Here A, B, D, F. So A to B is 1, B to D is 2. But you don't have to check all this. You directly look at here distance of U plus edge weight, that is 9. So you can update here 9. Right? But here check 5 plus 2 is 7. So it is smaller than 9. So you can update with the value 7. Okay. Is this fine? So at the end of the all the step, you have reached the value where you have distance B 3, E 5 and F 7. Okay. It is an iteration step. You just have to check that all the node have the smaller value or not. Fine. Now, what is flood Warshall algorithm? As I said here, if you want to find the shortest path from all the nodes, you have to iterate it 4 times because we have 4 nodes. Yes, for 0, for 1, for 2, for 3. But in flood wars, it is known as the all pair shortest path. So from the one iteration, and you can say one program, you find the all the pair shortest path. From 0 to reach all the node, from 1 to reach all the node, from 2 to reach all the node. Okay, so that is possible in a flood Gaussian method, and it is have the advantage that if your age weight is negative, then also it gives you the right answer always. Okay, and it is taking the approach of dynamic programming. Here the time complexity is big of and q because we have to go with the 3 loops, so complexity is n q and their density is more. Okay. And there is one more algorithm that is useful with the sparse graph. You understand what is dense graph and what is sparse graph? Sparse graphs have less number of edges. In dense graph, we have more number of edges. So in a sparse graph, your Johnson's algorithm is useful. Now here something is different. First of all, you should aware that whenever you want to reach somewhere, if you have direct edge, you can traverse. But if you don't have any direct edge, then you can traverse via some other node. Fine or not? So for that, you can take one intermediate node. And if you want to traverse here, you can check 0 to 1. You can direct connect it with the value 10, but it is more weight than via 2. Via 2, you have the distance 9. So better you go with the via 2. Yes. So here we try to understand all the intermediate stages. If you find any intermediate stages is beneficial to find the shortest path, then you can consider them. Fine. Let take this as an example and make A0. A0 means what? The original graph. Original graph means whatever you learn till now is a A0. A0 means direct connection. 0, 0 to 0, no connection. 0 to 1, 10. 0 to 2, 3. 0 to 3, 0. Right? Now 1 to 2, 6. And 1 to 3, no distance. So this is my A0. Now you have to check that if you want to traverse, if you want to check that this value is 10, but check if I want to reach the location 1 via node 2, this is what? This is node 0 to node 1 but via node 2. If this total distance is smaller than the original weight, then you should update that. Fine or not? Here 3 plus 6. So this is 9. So this is smaller than this. So this should be reflected. Yes or no? For that, I'm making A1. A1 means one intermediate node we are considering. Okay. So what you can get, is there any smallest path to reach 1 to 2? No. 6 is the final path. Okay. So only one change you require, and that is the change at position 0 to 1. Do you require to check for A2? A2 means what? You are now considering the 2 as an intermediate node. Is this fine? If you want to go 0 to 2 and 2 to 3, but no path is available. So this is small graph. So you just end up with this A1. You don't require to calculate the A2. But if you have complex problem, then you require to go with further. And how can you understand that how many A raised to N you want to calculate? Check. N is number of node. In our case, how many node is there? 4. So you maximum can reach N is equal to 3. Okay. So you maximum can reach A raised to 3. But for that, you require the graph which have more edges. But here, no more edges is there. Okay. So this is the final way you can calculate the EQ. Let this as this is the answer, that A1 is being changed, but A2 have no change. And if A2 have no change, then you don't require to calculate the A3. Fine. If any intermediate stage have no changes, then you don't require to check further. Is this fine or not? Here, the distance is not known, so we keep it as an infinity. Okay. And here also you have to check that modification is required or not. Fine. So this is the way you are updating the value 10 to 9, and you are also adding some extra value because via some node you are able to reach. So it is now not an infinity. Fine. So this thing you can change in your Floyd Washington. Now look, it is a directed graph. So you can see, first of all, A to A, no path, A to B, no path, so infinity, A to C, infinity, A to D, you have direct path, so that is 3. So A0 is easy to calculate, but in a A1, you check that anything is possible. First of all, A to B is possible via some single node, A to B, but via one node, no, not possible, because from A you can only reach D, and from D you don't have direct path to B. So this modification is not possible with the single node. But here C is possible because via D you can reach A to D, D to C. Fine. So what is the total? 3 plus 3, that is 6. Okay. Now anything else need to be changed? B to B, B to D. B to D you can reach via node A. That is 2 plus 3, that is 5. Fine. And same way, all this calculation are done at the A1. Now check. Only thing is, this thing is being left. Okay, we don't require anything as an infinity. If you have find any node, then you can traverse. So from A2, you can reach via 2 as a 2 node as an intermediate, and you reach 11. So here all the changes are there, so no need to check for A3. Fine. This is the way you can use the Floyd-Warshall algorithm to calculate the shortest path. Thank you.